Dr. Kusi collected 3,000 cedis and 4,000 cedis to buy jiggly saw for toe and foot amputation. A tool ranging between 200 to 300 cedis.
The first one was in Ghana cedis. I actually told the person, I was like, hey, did you make a mistake? Maybe you intended to write 5,000 Ghana cedis or 2,000 Ghana cedis, but you made a mistake and wrote USD. And the person said, it's not a mistake.
The emergency ward. Medications. But what you say? Ufa frustration. Many why say immigration phone kwa. A custom phone kwa. Many why say a Ghana police phone kwa. But doctors phone, a nurse phone. Omo a Babylon for chain obi a. For comments, eto comment section na say doctor bi nurse ni bi abo kalabule our hospital da. Ya ju sika bi a we odwene ho as we die. Krono an amhwe as ye bo me no. Ya ju bi sada. Hey, Ghana doctor for krono pani. Na we no me hu say na eyade esisi enye ne. Me hu say Ghana ye hospital nurse for bebre na ya kronfo. A doctor for bebre na ya wi barawo thief. Gafo krakan say ojolo hu. Akronfo nkwa me say ubeto aduro onim say aduro na wo to no. Odi hye no aka 2 minutes na owu. Say obe recommend aduro mo akoto. Na odi hye na wu awie no say woni abre. O paki o mama mfa to das bi ma wa adwe ne say o aduro no keke na wo to ye. Owie na odi aduro na akoma pharmacist no no ma chisika no. Say aduro no we mistake what onko ade amasa no ano no ogudu bye bye. Omo go cha nyamfaso adi. Na sa na krono no me na me hu ne sa de me hu ye short sight mani me hu ade papa. Krono na Ghana ebo no ye medical kalabule enye ize. Now when the fourth estate for and the research to omo as ye investigation na uhumedwiru 7,000 Ghana cedis. Yes, we were foreigner in Nigeria in Onjia na this year by that hospital. Afa ohun ti say 7,000 akwa no ne ho popo pentimatria anam say o da bi cedis na ehye only a mistake $7,000. Jesus Christ. How on earth no to make mistake with the cedi sign and a dollar sign? Now, every da ben ana Ghana, your constitution stop it and ma kwan say ubetuma trade in different currencies in Ghana here. As someone now here medical doctor and I say or a pharmacist, you understand that. Say yamra e kasetia ndi we no e offense e say achi utumo. O di in dollars our Ghana a hospital, a government hospital for that matter, and your private. But because say o in Nigeria nti e say obunu. Na say utimi di sa boni we ni nyambra sem we a. And enyo mo nko e dos na Ghana hospital. Apart from say we go do nurse ni mfa ho, on fa onya hwe. We go do na doctor ayi nani atwi nani na on nurse fo di nkomo. Tese mu di dosu. Na anu yesi nurse ayi doctor ba kwa akonyem and nurse for the service. Omko night shift and they say omo the hospital one of the hotel. Ana patuka tata sa simkwa na aba ni na chi no oba e bo kro no on found say ne kro no person obo no utimi twa the amount of money na say itimi hwe on kro na sa sika na open one fan ma e beja mu odi hye na wu so one go say e beja mu owu. And these are the people who swear an oath say omebo me no mienu yankwa ho ban. Ome make sure say ome everything humanly medically possible. Say ya be die say bian kwa dia. Ome the best of our knowledge. Say be ho beto ye. But 3 seconds no more strike. Uniform allowance inti no more strike. Na you omo mfa ho. Then you ask yourself say na nkwase o to be na omo go so ye ono. Na enya nwanwa omampani a ode Bible so ye na ode Quran so ye. Obewie corruption kwa. Lawyer ni osue obewie ntro nko a nti entro no de ye na nkasa no ya fa de aboyebo aye pledge and ye de nam ye so proud of it and ye ku amanfo the so-called Christian Muslim country, no, the so-called religious people, no, living legends, no, a day to your national day in praise and thanksgiving. I don't know who you are praying to and who you are thanking with this kind of attitude. Dr. Stephen Kusi, Akwaje, Abrantia, your friend Eddie, neighbor by your hospital. Now you see the jiggly saw, and a Sa jiggly saw now, you can watch them. Hospital is so provided, hospital and man provided.
A simple Google search shows that the special saw in question cost $9 to $30. So which brand of jiggly saw does Dr. Stephen Kusi buy that range from 1,000 to 3,000 cedis?
Did you procure a jiggly saw for amputation?
Yes.
And how much did you charge the patient for it?
It depends on the patient. Anywhere between 1,000 to 3,000. Yeah. I know the source from which I get my own, and I know it's a good source. I have a supplier who usually travels to the States, and then when he's coming, I ask him to bring it. So it's a bit on the high end.
Which brand is that?
I would have to check for you. I don't have it in mind, no.
But you've been using it for like a long time, and like it's your most reliable.
Yes, so but it's not something that even though I use it often, it's not something that I keep in mind that this brand is what. I just make sure that where it is coming from is good quality, because otherwise the ones on the market, even if you go to a Kaishi, you can get some which is not very good.
But why would Dr. Kusi not engage the hospital, but rather the patients? Eddie's father was billed 4,875 cedis for the surgery, which covered admission, theater fees, and dressing for a number of days. He fully paid the bill to the hospital and got receipts. Dr. Kusi collected 3,000 cedis and 4,000 cedis to buy jiggly saw for toe and foot amputation, a tool ranging between 200 to 300 cedis. So why would the saw cost more than half of the entire cost of the surgery? This is more than Dr. Kusi's own admission of charging from 1,000 to 3,000 cedis if surgeries are happening every day at the Rich Hospital, and the facility is not providing tools needed for the surgery. Does it not prompt hospital authorities to ask how surgeries are happening? What Eddie experienced is not an isolated case. The Fourth Estate found evidence that this practice has been festering for years.
One go to hospital and say, "Oh, need that equipment." They be that kind of amputation, no. So be chat, be chobi papa nine kwa. Ama onumu enon kra ye ka. Babo no wonem kwanna ni na. Papa ni be sofa that pain, ni kwanna ni na. Surgery so ye 200 to 300 Ghana cedis. Doctor Ekwenyanko anim age ne 7,000 Ghana. 7,000 Ghana cedis for something that's worth 200 to 300 cedis. Yeah, but say Doctor Kusi say, "Oh, now we are aware say doctor untimi nye sika free patient because every hospital, especially a government hospital, your accounts office in the sky na say for accounts office and you guys have on say say onim mra bia so e katia say doctor entimi nyi sika free client ho enfam wa no and say nya mo na obo no sika no yes uni kwan say oje because your accounts office ho accountant one account clerk eto on edi sika no na what receipt e the money pa no na hospital now with the internal generated fund no e bi eko or say two options. We a patient now ba na ehia certain equipment na hospital ni bia obeja mo de hye no ne wa kire ne sa de bi we wa dwen say obeteki actions no na wa provide solution na ma doctor na ma na ya adwuma na ma wo enti two things either say wa ba go pe jiggly so ni bia ba anaso ono onim ne dealers amudi beba enti say opa ne dealer de beba opa so wa ko pe wa de bra but in probably no enya de a wo kra ni bia afi na wo unye sa adwuma no obeda hu bia ko bia ba enti be we sika na say o de ma no ndi eho ana policeman na adwuma no e adwuma say Ghana police for there 5 Ghana 10 Ghana ni edwa omotie on offense Omadi 100 to and the doctor edge. Meanwhile, doctor and salary, the least I doctor edge, even junior doctors, edge 8,000, 9,000. And none of them and they had one facility. In fact, most of the private facilities now are very recommended to call home a more hospitals, a more clinics, a more lab, a more pharmacies. Baby, your meta recommend those econo. Open man call different place. A more money. Who go do also treatment near different, treat you nice, good. But who go do the public hospital now? As a man who matamfu. As a no, some die born no. One now able some was sorry anymore. Or better when you natural the person just say who you are going through pains. You think you have met someone or better calm the pains down. Now we're making sure say ube through hospital no with not the same pain. Ube brepa. Our government, your hospitals, Allah. Time keke. Now, Dr. Stephen Kusi justify say I am more keke. I don't know the work client and one po. I say enka akosura ni bill na akosura. Even when as new person care for as for hospital national 3,000. Margin 7,000 means extra 4,000. Idea cost 200 to 300 no. Uji nipa around 3,000 to 4,000. And yet this is the man who still have the effrontery, the nerves. He got nerves. I also say, anything wrong with it?
As a surgeon, sometimes when a patient comes in need of surgery, and especially when you think the situation is urgent and what you need is not available in the facility, and you also consider that the patient needs the operation in terms of life and death. Sometimes because what you need is not available, you go ahead and tell the patient two things. You can go and find it, which usually would mean that sometimes they may not find it, it will take a while. Or you can tell them that, okay, I have somebody who supplies me, and so I can get it to you at this price, and then you can go ahead and get it, have it bought, and then I'll go ahead and do the surgery for them.
He said the money he took from patients was not for service charge, but to buy tools for the surgery.
Have you ever told a patient that this is my service charge?
Never.
Yeah.
This is never.
No, so they don't get their money back. Say no. Or no, that's any service charge. Any
This is Dr. Kusi's word against the nurse. But are doctors allowed to take money directly from patients?
I am not aware of any specific code which prevents me from helping the patients to get critical things that they need for the surgery.
The question is not. The question is whether you are allowed to take money directly from them. It's not about whether you are helping. The question is, are you allowed to take money from patients directly to procure things for surgery?
It depends on the situation, but for me, I am not aware of anything that prevents me from helping the patient, especially when I know it is difficult for them to get that particular item when it's not available in the facility.
But did Dr. Kusi inform the hospital about the lack of surgical tools?
I've been doing this for 15 years. There are some that you start using and it tears. We've run through about 3 of them. You use, it gets torn. I'm sure if Google, yes. You use, it gets torn. You use, it gets torn. You use, it gets torn. You're standing in theater and the patient is anesthetized and there's nothing you can do.
Have you engaged management on the quality of?
I haven't officially engaged management on it, no.
Timinim, say na entrance near me and doctor no. Say why are they? Say who anything wrong with it. So as a doctor, you work accounts office, omo say omo jiska, omo jiska, ono omo jiska. Doctor, are you? Me say me kai pa pefe. Say at that time, the original health insurance penny no was friend say sunya krobium ha. Me ma me free mu enka kalabule pa anko mu bu mi. Eno kurati, ye keka bi so omo ntwan. They say they ni braba, never funu ngongodu fi. Mesa ba, you make payment. You go do you na ebusa say, hospital administrator wan afi odwane. Say ya te say miense training ti. Accountant wan on so dwane. Am say na sika no mo san ni bio. Got my friend health insurance in here. Only more dingo say the amount charging me na no. It's catered for. Ni na no say health insurance ni mu. Yet they have been taking money from the people we jira. Ajira hospital. Oh my dear man for sika kro no sika sa. So when they realize say where is the training? E be ko viral. Emwaye. Ya jache. Na mo jache no kwa me pese me hu na me da mase. We dey fura to dey bi. Omre fi oso ma no bi enu. Me be do mase omo se dey bi omo be ase da me go fi. Ebi ana Dr. Steven Kusi or justify why I say oye the oye no. We no. Nkan temper na the license ya revoke. Esa atene dia kwakutum. Wahu. Na ma other doctors we nyansa say omunye nyankopon. The fact that they can administer drugs for patients, you know, and more money nyame. Before say mo be go school, akosua mo zinc ne iron ne ne vitamin ne brofo. Akese ne de mudi twetwa nipa nan no. Na ye hair balance for mo hwe dada. Oman ye mo say mo ye chanting god bi oye so. Na nya mo ye de ta sika twa mo kai. Ye ntwa mo ka allowance kwa mo sanka mo jam ye wu. Na esa ba hospital so mo say boye kalabuli. Na we raf bufu no be boa manfo a na be di na tem with the attitude na mo da na die wo no that lakadasika attitude in treating people na mo say we say boy kalabule ye be jam life amam Nigeria need share baako ono de ne de no kwa de ya chen bibia from 7,000 Ghana cedis I say any kan ko be kono ye bubi agusu no o be twa na kwa no say ya kwa no sika ya kan ye wan sere so mpo ho no msa say de bi receipt na send man invoice na wrong. And I say wrong saying. Or say the new one is $7,000. I say a mistake and also they be a mistake. That's the actual value. I draw now but 7,000 and the obeto draw say be obe stay young forever now.
Shortly after, she gets an invoice of 7,000 cedis. But while getting ready to pay, the pharmacy told her it was rather $7,000. The $7,000 bill shocked her, but desperation won.
They sent an invoice, first of all. Then when I told them, okay, how do I make payments? Is it in cash or transfer? So that I'll know how I'll get there, if I'll need to go to the bank, change money, or I can just do a transfer. So that was when the person I messaged now said he made a mistake and sent me another invoice. And the other invoice was in dollars, whereas the first one was in Ghana cedis. I actually told the person, I was like, hey, did you make a mistake? Maybe you intended to write 5,000 Ghana cedis or 2,000 Ghana cedis, but you made a mistake and wrote USD, and the person said it's not a mistake.
Why would the pharmacy in Ghana quote prices in US dollars to a foreign patient walking into a public hospital? How could a pricing error involving thousands of dollars be so casually made?
If it's open market, yes, why should there be any differential charge? Because it doesn't differentiate. When I walk into a pharmacy or into a shop to buy bread, for example, does it tell whether this is a non-Ghanaian face, therefore the bread is suddenly $10 rather than 10 cedis? You understand what I mean?
The Foreign Exchange Act 2006, Act 732, prohibits the pricing of goods and services in foreign currency in Ghana. In fact, Access Pharmacy issued an officially stamped receipt of $5,000 and $2,000 for surgical supplies on the 27th July 2024. According to the law, such violations are punishable on summary conviction with a fine of up to 700 penalty units or a prison term of not more than 18 months or both. Perfect said when she wanted to see the equipment she bought, The pharmacy told her that the tools needed to be sterile. She eventually gave up, paid, and handed the receipts to the neurosurgeons at the Ridge Hospital. The fourth estate has confirmed that the money was indeed paid to Access Pharmacy in response to a formal letter listing the receipt numbers referenced in the investigation. The pharmacy acknowledged that the receipts were linked to a foreign patient.
And I asked, at least won't I see what I'm paying for? And they said because it's for a brain surgery, it's a very sensitive tool, so they don't want what was the word? They don't want any infection, so they have to maintain the sterile. So it's going to be taken directly to the.
I do AJZ. I know person will stay forever young. Now wait. From 7,000 Ghana, would that cost $7,000? Or a foreigner? What's say Ghana food nerdy? Because of who Jimmy into you, who see can you greediness, empty. Now she will go back to Nigeria with the narration say Ghanaian charge in dollars when you are buying medicine. Now imagine say a net with AI how our searching is so easy. No, I could buy him a drug. No, I'm going to price. No price on the corner. No, and lose 7,000 Ghana cedis in po. Now watching $7,000. What say the entire Ghana for? Doctors in nerdy. What say pharmacists in nerdy? What say your hospital in nerdy? What destroyed the image of your health system now? You say one of the best in West Africa. What's saying now? For what reason? For what reason? But how a lady no what do you say? Now we're so depressed, we're so frustrated, but you have to pay. Was open say up within the bank one day, then you have to pay. Now, meaning say a lot of us have gone through that same situation. Yeah, we are dying. Say the Ghana police in Untimin Trika, Emma Ghana police in you 10 Ghana, 5 Ghana. No, so don't even go Ghana hospital. Now for who told I declare. Say you new capre. Hey, Massa, we are sure about for crying Bejo. Say Jesus Christ mistake, Castle Yare, no Ghana. Government hospitals are or imagine something extra. Doctor one day we are so proud of got something for your boys. On can just say thank you, baby. Or the good ones you know I do 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 or the can see count. Sakwa. And these are the same entities that make your margin say or go create demonstration because of allowance. And I research allowance, a uniform allowance, because the allowance be and no more strike, send the Abrante Bako edit this year on the site. Abrante ni free site suro ebo fo say paw. Ne sabu ne nabu. Ye dey bedu hospital emergency awo Comfort teaching hospital. Ye mana kwa scan awo do ni na ba. Head scan nko 1,200 ya je no. Osu onim say ye dey ya bu no. Enti oguso complain wie ye. Okoye X-ray masa ero say jini say 3,000 so. Also, we pay more around 3 to 4 more. E go do anumere best 7, 6, 7, 8 more. Ya ga ja brand so onko fie, on fa brand ni go fie. Ade tia na na ba no say nipa ninsa afuma enho no first aid. Niti say internal bleeding go mama bakuta makwa scan. Say okoye internal bleeding na me ye ne dan. Okowo me so na me ye ne dan. As hospital be ne ba obi de share. After several minutes of complainer, come the scene so okasa na nurse ba goes o man treating nsa and the man on trainer at least yes I say it's only because aba camera so e be go social media so you be kan once emdi ana Comfort teaching hospital my mother is happy there mo be ma kwa face it na mo emergency unit no ndi mutimi close ne sa nurse Ghana the emergency is here na do
the emergency ward. Medications. But what you can Head scan on 1,255. Am I right? Sure. I'm on site to this board. Or you're on site. The first rubber show. Sat. We are bad thread. And I'm the boy in the bar, you see. That's that time, not anybody will bleed it. I can't move my moja. As at now, yɛntimi kwan kan kyɛm sɛ bia onua boy no wayɛ yi ɛni yɛduru sɛ yɛkɔkɔ twene sɛ yɛka kyerɛ m sɛ yɛapon nti yɛnkɔ no ma as at awia 3:30 ayɛ de boy no ba receipt atwatwa mam nyɛmatwie no nyinaa
What you say? Oba is scan no.
hair scan nko a 1,255
Hair scan. Oba na no
ka twɛ no nyinaa yɛ ɔmo sɛ hair scan yɛ nwie
Enti we ne
nti
de na
mentwɛn wɔkyerɛ me nkɔmmra wɔyɛ ne nsa anscan nipa ne nsa no bu ɛni
na ɔmo so ɔmo pon na ɔmo twa scan.
Ye twa scan yɛ kɔba yɛ sɛ baby ɔmo betwe nsa no yɛapɔn
A department here department.
ɔmo sɛ the cluster and trauma then
But I emergency.
for next meeting
Confirm Ghana for one radio.
Yɛntwe ma no akɔkyɛ yɛntwe
Ah, who say?
Yɛntwe.
Hwɛ nipa nsa o.
yɛntwe
Ɛna ahunu sei. Na yɛka kyerɛ me sɛ
memfa nkɔ fie
yɛapɔn.
mede kɔ fie amɛndɛ
Yɛmfa nkɔ
Afa
fie.
ọmọ anyẹ POP na.
Dabi,
Ɔma anyɛ
ɔma
hwɛ ama
pɔn.
no. Ɔmo si
Ɔma
apɔn.
Ra, ẹsẹ ẹdi tu skin kọ ọmọ apọ yẹ wa di ẹyẹ ma.
But
Mo yɛ kɔ sisi ɔmo sɛ memfa nkɔ ɔkyɛ dɛ na maba
Ti sie ya ɔyɛ video na video ya wusɛ nurse ni bi sei.
Nurse ni.
Ade ya ɔmla ne fa nto ade no ntimi kɔ fie. Mo ba kan de. Ɛnyɛ fine. Because obiara
mekɔ na sɛ nipa no owu a na meyɛ no
obiara wo pra wo de ka de kɔ fine.
mede kɔ fankyerɛ bra ne direct sɛ memfa mɛkɔmfa no kyɛ mede nsa
Fanchine bra.
fankyerɛ bra
Ana ɔmo ka sɛ fan bra emergency.
Fan bra
Ana ɔde na bra emergency ɔmo sɛ ɔmo apɔ.
asat 4
It is here mobile ne
twa metuatua biribiaa o I spend like an hour
ti uba is ka sɛ no spend.
almost 2,500
Ana ɔmo anhwɛ na ɔmo sɛ fa no kɔ kyina.
chairman
We okay.
receipt no ani wobɛtumi akeka no nyinaa bom ani
We okay.
wahwɛ how much I've spent
Untimi. Because say me no ka say yedru he ya na ehun say nurse ni bi say wo te kasa na nurse ni na ebuta say omo ye ne dey.
ɛmi wɛka wɔn kwakɔ ɛma adwuma ɛna wɔfiri so abɛhwɛ wɔ mentumi ka gyes na ɛbɛtumi afɔ ntwa ka ma adwuma na wɔabɛyɛ
Ana wo ba ba na hospital afro.
megya deɛ meyɛ bi ama look at the time
Jina for hwe a me jina konfa no chi emergency.
ɔma pɔn ne sɛ ɔma pɔn
Emergency, ɔma pɔn.
ɔma pɔn
E je
me bibia emergency ward anything can happen me person me post that time emergency unit who emergency unit because e pon because anything according to
bibia be tmaju.
But your friend is a cable.
Aye, o ba doctor bi be jina ho hwe.
It's now wa be 2 hours me say me ko di be 1 hour e wo pharmacy say
E be dey. Ade sign na. On sa no ma ba be hwa wo kwanya wo. E wo emergency a. Me be Ghana ni Baba hospital. Enye se woni sika wo. Nipa na o ye na adwuma no wo sika wo pese wo tua. Wo tua bills bia. Yes on come live. Me buy receipt e kwa me receipt be 4-5. E na we scan no na ba ku club boy no.
me
Eti Ghana for ade ati bia ye nua be ma ye wu a na de esi no.
Now, a whole Comfort Teaching Hospital. This a referral place. Oh, baby, a hospital to the end. You better refer na kono no. And an emergency ward, they say, Allah, well, you're closing it down. Yapon, emergency, yapon. Ah, how? Eh. Now you're gonna there. A boss says, I'll be at me, Yario. We are there, say, who are no. Because Comfort Teaching Hospital here. Kolebus be the same thing. And I have you. Oh, your two biggest hospitals in India. It is a higher, a hebrew. See, Anna, we are was it mammy? I bred one the go ye. So, Ogoto is a pure water, then there, Ogo to go weird. But you don't care. Who fucking home? Say Nippo be woo, or you catch us, eh? When Nippo do you who need they grow moo. I say a flesh. When the white will be fighting so hard, say, on Beso Benya more dead bodies on the record, so to so very retired as a doctor and as a nurse. Ghana Hanum, and a number of people who under you, and the chess, woe experience. It's a munisia. We are, and these are the nurses. They talk about empathy when they are teaching them. They speak to them about empathy. A humobro, so many humobra a fofo. No, at the time I would now do patient number. Who just a who wouldn't say just a word. One lose hope and confidence in faith, you know. The Ancaso more that a little bit of hope, a nurse near a doctor. Can't grant some now when you some last minute hope be, and they're holding on. Emma me free mu. Ade betimpo na doctor say baby me hwe die. Ahwe amaame no 80% obewu. Funny enough, after the death, before say me last visit, then who say sana omu hia MRI scan, buza mu obi wa am say dey bi. Enti mu check in it mu am say dey bi. Enti na mu nim the damage na mo nti, and was oxygen na mo dey so say hi. Am enti when you were proclaiming say obewu no. You never saw the reason to tell me say my man no hia say mo refer to a bigger hospital because enema na say mo dey treating mu ni bi. So because of my incompetence, enti my man free mo. Afena ena. And the number of Ghanaians that have suffered that same fate. Nipa dodo a omame ombapa nom omunnuanum ewu because unless if only a doctor for ase omunu de no mo ye hospital no yentimi nkan. Na wawie asa koro aka cho se ko to aduro bra. Na wo to aduro na besi owie onim se nipa ni ba bebu. Owie a wasa fa aduro na fa wochim wa wada koma pharmacist no no ma chesika no mafa. Na doctor ni charge sika gu ni bottom. Me we are in a private hospital, a government hospital that have an accountant, an account clerk, and accounts office. And my book bule apo sa besine. Me say ufa frustration. Many wa dey say immigration for nko a custom for nko a. Many wa dey say Ghana police for nko a. But doctor for no, a nurse for no. Omo ye Babylon for chen obi a. For comments eto comment section na say doctor bi nurse ni bi abo kalabule our hospital da ya ju sika bi a we odwene ho as we die krono an amhwe as ye bo me no ya ju bi sada wa go hospital ama treatment na dey mo no sepa enkoyie baako sei na so one wan kokasa okasa afi ne be mobile treatment di wan kasa wan ka we e bi ato da mo se ni na bi ato da fatu comment section na se me bese me hu I want to see something. The person me ready be na me te say say na nya me nko a enye na few people are matino enye omo nko a subscribe like na share mo nua eso enya bi ehwe edi no back up max billion I will naked truth with Oldboga trends macro. Bye bye.